What is up, everybody? My name is Logan Troll. Welcome to TTF Troll Talks Football. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my tier list of every single Super Bowl halftime show. I feel like this one would be a lot of fun to do this week, especially the fact that the Super Bowl is right around the corner. And plus, I don't see a lot of people doing this. And also, there was a lot I had to watch, so I had to rewatch every single halftime show to give you guys the most honest answer and tier list I can give you. There will be a little bit of controversy in this video, so you have been warned. So let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells to miss any of my videos whenever I post. Roll out of the way. Let's get started. Alright, here we are at the tier list, and this is how it's going to go. At the very top, we've got electric. Below that, we've got entertaining. Below that, we've got good but flawed. Below that, we've got lackluster, and at the bottom, we've got trash. There's shockingly not a lot of trash Super Bowl halftime shows. There's only like a few, but yeah, let's just get started. The first one we've got is Super Bowl 27 with Michael Jackson. I always hear this one being named, if not like one of, if not the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time. I will agree, it is extremely entertaining, but I wouldn't say it's the best of all time or even in electric. Don't get me wrong, I love Michael Jackson. I love his performances. He's super talented, but I just thought this halftime show was a little bit too short. And it just killed a lot of time of him just staring and like doing his iconic poses. But honestly, I still really like this one. Alright, the next one we have is Super Bowl 28 with the country one. It had guys like Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds, Wyona and Naomi. This one is absolutely fantastic. I don't know why people don't talk about this one. It is so good, dude. Especially Travis Tritt and Tanya Tucker. Every single person's performances is absolutely fantastic, and it's just very entertaining. It's a lot of fun to listen and watch. Alright, the next one we've got is Super Bowl 29 with Patti LaBelle, and it's mostly Indiana Jones themed, but people might not agree with this one, but it's really good, but I'm going to say good but flawed. Don't get me wrong, I love the Indiana Jones theme they had, but I think Patti LaBelle and Tony Bennett should have been in it more. Because whenever they were on screen, it was amazing, but it's just the fact that they just were not in it enough. If they were in it more, this would definitely be in the entertaining column. Alright, the next one we've got is Super Bowl 30 with Diana Ross. This is by far, if not one of the, probably the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time, dude. Diana Ross is such an amazing performer. She has such great songs, and this was the perfect pick for a halftime show. This was amazing. Alright, next we've got Super Bowl 31 with James Brown and the Blues Brothers. I'm not gonna lie, people might not agree with me on this, but I think it was lackluster. I mean, the music was solid, but it was really boring. Like, I don't know what it was, I just could not keep attention of it. I just thought it was kind of a boring halftime show. Alright, the next Super Bowl halftime show we got is Super Bowl 32 with Motown 40. I thought this one was really entertaining as well. This one was really good. Boyz II Men, Queen Latifah, those were the highlights. Overall, this was such a great halftime show. Alright, the next halftime show we've got is Super Bowl 33 with Stevie Wonder and Gloria Estefan. I thought this one was also really entertaining. I thought Stevie Wonder was really damn good in this. Gloria Estefan was decent. I thought Voodoo Daddy was pretty decent in his cameo. Overall, this was a good show. Alright, the next one we've got is Super Bowl 34 with Christina Aguilera. Honestly, I think it's funny how they mark Christina Aguilera as the main host because she really wasn't. It was Disney. But this will probably be the first one on the tier list and probably the first one in a long time to be in trash. This one was awful. This was not a halftime show. This was an advertisement for an event Disney World was doing like a month later, like sometime in Disney World. Like, this did not feel like a halftime show at all. The only part of this halftime show that is really worth going back to is Phil Collins. When he was on screen, he was really good, but everything else was dog shit. Next one we've got is Super Bowl 35 with Aerosmith and NSYNC. This one was really entertaining, dude. This was a lot of fun to watch. The only problem I have with this Super Bowl halftime show, and it's kind of a nitpick, and it's the fact that Britney Spears, Nelly, and also Mary J. Blige also made cameos, which is great. But they hardly got any screen time. It felt like they were just forced in just to get people's attention. But that's it. Like, they hardly got any screen time. But other than that, great halftime show. Next, we've got Super Bowl 36 with U2. I'm probably going to get crucified for this one. But I thought this one was so boring, dude. This one sucked. Don't get me wrong. I like U2. But they just had a kind of a boring performance. And it was pretty short. And also, one thing that has to be mentioned, this was a tribute to the people that passed away tragically at 9/11. Nothing bad to say about that. That's deserved. Like, that has to be shown. And prayers to those people that sadly passed away. But the performance as a whole by U2 was not that great. Next, we've got Super Bowl 37 with Shania Twain, No Doubt, and Sting. I'm not going to lie. If Shania Twain was not in this halftime show, this would probably be lackluster. But Shania Twain absolutely carried this halftime show. She was so entertaining, and it just carries the show as a whole. This was awesome. Next, we've got Super Bowl 38 with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. This one was good, but extremely flawed. I mean, this one was okay. Like, Janet Jackson really did carry this halftime show. I really didn't care for Justin Timberlake in this one. Kid Rick was decent, and then we also had One That Shall Not Be Named. Then the ending was controversial, to say the least. I'm not going to show it because I don't want this video to get taken down, but I'm going to have links to every single halftime show in the description so you can watch it. Every single one, so you can see it for yourself, but it's crazy. Next, we got Super Bowl 39 with Paul McCartney as the halftime show host, and honestly, I thought this one was really entertaining. They wanted to go with a safe pick after last year's, honestly, tragedy, but I think it worked well for him. It was a safe pick, but it was honestly a good pick. It was a really good show. Next, we've got Super Bowl 40 with the Rolling Stones. This one was also really good. They tried to go with the same thing as last year, something safe, but something entertaining. I don't think it was as good as Paul McCartney, but it was still a really good show. I liked it a lot. Next, we've got Super Bowl 41 with Prince. This was one of the best ones out ever, dude. First of all, it's Prince, so he's obviously really talented and really entertaining. So that's just enough right there. This is one of the best halftime shows ever. Next, we've got Super Bowl 42 with Tom Petty. I thought this one was really good as well. Again, safe pick, but honestly a really entertaining pick. Like, they've been on a roll like the late 2000s with making good picks. Next, we've got Super Bowl 43 with Bruce Springsteen. Honestly, I'm not just putting him up here because he's a great entertainer, but it's the fact that out of all these halftime shows, he looked like he had the most fun out of all of them. Like, he loves the crowd, he loves the fans, and he was having absolutely the best time ever, dude. It was so entertaining to watch, and even though that this was years ago, it'd be nice if we can get him back. I know he's like 75 years old now, but it would still be cool to see. This would be really entertaining. Next, we've got Super Bowl 44 with The Who. This one was also really entertaining. I thought these performers were so great. And for a duo that I've never heard of, shockingly, I was really into it. And I started looking up some of their songs and listening to them because it was really good. Next, we've got Super Bowl 45 with the Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. I'm not going to lie, I thought this one was really lackluster. The cameos were stupidly short. I don't really care for the Black Eyed Peas, especially Fergie. Fergie sucks. And overall, they could have done way more. Like, there's a good opportunity given, I'm not gonna lie, but they did not do much with it. Next, we've got Super Bowl 46 with Madonna. I don't even like Madonna, but I can't lie. This is one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows ever as well. I thought Madonna absolutely rocked. I loved the cameos. Nicki Minaj, LMFAO. I thought they were great, even though I disliked them a lot. Like, even they were awesome in this one. Like, all the other ones were great. Like, this whole Super Bowl halftime show was amazing. Next, we've got Super Bowl 47 with Beyonce and Destiny's Child. I gotta get one thing out of the way before I give my opinion here. I cannot stand Beyonce. I think she's very entitled. I think her music now sucks. I can't stand her husband. And I think she forces politics into everything, and I can't stand it. With that being said, I absolutely adored this halftime show, dude. Beyonce killed it. She absolutely killed her performances. I never said she was a bad performer. I just don't like the chick. But her performances were awesome. I loved how Destiny's Child was in this. This was a great reunion at the time. Overall, this halftime show was amazing. Next, we've got Super Bowl 48 with Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is honestly my favorite halftime show out of all of them. I absolutely love Bruno Mars. I love all of his music. And then they don't even need Red Hot Chili Peppers, but the fact they were in this just made it even better. Like, this was probably the best halftime show ever. Next, we've got Super Bowl 49 with Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, and Missy Elliott. I feel like I'm going to get crucified for this. It's a damn good halftime show, but I just don't think it's on the same level as these three right here. Don't get me wrong, Katy Perry absolutely carried this and killed this, but honestly, I just like these three better, and I just think these three are just, like, on a different level. Next, we've got Super Bowl 50 with Coldplay, Bruno Mars, and Beyonce. I didn't think I was going to like this one, but as soon as I started watching it, I fell in love with it. I love it. I thought Coldplay for the most part was pretty good, and then Beyonce and Bruno Mars made their small cameos, but they absolutely stole the show, and I absolutely adored the celebration they made for every single halftime show previous. For somebody that took the time to watch every single halftime show to make this tier list, it felt really rewarding to watch this. Just seeing all the halftime shows I took the time to watch, it felt special. Next, we've got Super Bowl 51 with Lady Gaga. This one was also great, but it's the same thing I said for Katy Perry. Both absolutely killed their halftime shows, but I just think these ones are just on a different level. I just think they're better. Next, we've got Justin Timberlake at Super Bowl 52. I'm not going to lie, it was good, but it was definitely flawed. I think Justin Timberlake was pretty good, but it's just the fact that I just think this needed cameos. Like, this needed guest performers. I just don't think Justin Timberlake should have done this all by himself. Like, that's just me. Like, you guys can disagree on that, but me personally, I think this just needed more star power. Next, we've got Super Bowl 53 with Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy. This is probably the worst halftime show ever. Honestly, no. I think the Disney World one is worse, but this one is like close second. All the performances were kind of ass. The cameos for Travis Scott and Big Boy were very random. They did not flow together at all. And I just think as a whole, it felt like they were just trying to put something together last minute, and it just did not work at all. This one sucked. This whole Super Bowl as a whole is probably like the worst Super Bowl ever. Oh my god. Next, we've got Super Bowl 54 with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. This is starting to get interesting now because we're starting to get in a phase where people thought it was cool to hate on Super Bowl halftime shows for no particular reason. I mean, this is like the first one people would just say that this one is ass without even watching it. And honestly, this is my opinion on it. I think it's good, but I think it's also flawed. I think Shakira absolutely rocked, dude. She was amazing. Like, her performances as well as her vocals, also her playing guitar and drums, it was just amazing. But as soon as Jennifer Lopez came out, it just started getting worse. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Jennifer Lopez. If it was just Shakira, this would have been a lot better. And the small cameos with Bad Bunny and J Balvin were just okay. If this was just Shakira, this would probably be either entertaining or electric, but Jennifer Lopez really weighed it down. Next, we've got Super Bowl 55 with The Weeknd. I'm not gonna lie, this one is way too overhated. I think it's good, but it's also flawed. I think it's still really good because I absolutely love The Weeknd's music. I love every single song he performed in that halftime show. Like, he's one of my favorite artists. And then, even though that he didn't have many cameos or none at all, like, it didn't need any. Like, he could have carried this whole show. And honestly, I could tell they were trying to do more, but let's be honest, we were during COVID at that time. They couldn't do much in the first place. So stop hating on it so much and just go back and rewatch it. Like I said, I have links to the videos in my description on this video. Like, please take the time to rewatch this halftime show and come back to me after. Next, we got Super Bowl 56 with Dr. Dre and the rest of the rappers. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite halftime shows too. Like, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, like, they all absolutely carried this, dude. It was amazing. So many great songs they performed. It was all flowing really together. I loved the stage set they had. 50 Cent's cameo was also great. It fit in very, very well. And as a whole, this is probably one of the best halftime shows ever and one of the best in a long time. Next, we've got Super Bowl 57 with Rihanna. I'm not going to lie, I had different opinions on this as soon as like it came out, like when it was live. But rewatching it, I have a lot more great things to say about it. This one was really entertaining, dude. Rihanna is such a good performer. And the fact that she was performing this halftime show while being pregnant after having a kid already is honestly amazing, dude. Like, you have to give her a lot of credit. Plus, I will agree saying that this could have used one or two cameos. Like, I really don't like the guy, but Jay-Z would have fit in pretty well. Drake could have fit in pretty well here, but honestly, this was such a good halftime show, and Rihanna did an amazing job. And lastly, even though this is not on the tier list for some reason, it's the most recent halftime show we have right now. We've got Super Bowl 58 with Usher, and they also have Alicia Keys as one of the cameos. I honestly can't remember the rest of them. I'm not going to lie, if this was on the tier list, it would be on good but flawed. I think overall this was a decent halftime show. Usher was a pretty decent pick. I think they could have picked somebody better, but Alicia Keys was definitely an amazing cameo. Like, she should have had her own halftime show, to be honest with you. But I think every other cameo in this one stunk, and the only ones that stuck out were Usher and Alicia Keys. Plus, I think they did this a decade too late, dude. Like, if Usher would have done this in the late 2000s or early 2010s, this would have made a lot more sense. But instead, they did this in 2024, where Usher doesn't even really make music anymore. Same with Alicia Keys. I mean, at least their music's not as popular as it was back then, but if this would have been done like way earlier, this would have been a lot better. But overall, this was a decent halftime show. And there you guys have it. That was my Super Bowl halftime show tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below on how you agree with this tier list, if you agree or not. And let me know your favorite Super Bowl halftime show. Let me know. Also, let me know down below on how you are excited for Kendrick Lamar's halftime show this year. Honestly, I think it still should have been Lil Wayne. I don't agree with the choice, but I still like Kendrick Lamar. And I think this halftime show can be pretty good. So I'm optimistic to see how it's going to go. Also, reminders, I'm going to have links to every single halftime show I watched in the description of this video. So throughout this tier list, when you're watching, you can go and rewatch every single halftime show so you can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. In the meantime, that is where I'm going to be done for the day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.